August. Summer is moving right along, and had some pretty great weather lately, a little bit of rain and some cooler temperatures. August temperatures are typically 95, not so bad, all things considered, and we should probably get a couple more inches of rain. We live in a great place, the Verde Valley, I have to admit. August is National Golf Month. For those of you who are golfers, get out there and take advantage of it. It's a wonderful area to do it. During the month of August, on a national level, the giant bike rally happens in Sturgis during August. We also have the great pleasure to take advantage of this year's Perseids meteor shower, which will begin sometime around August 11th and last till about the 14th or 15th. Up to 80 meteors an hour we should be able to see here in North America. So if you get a chance to get into some really dark skies, it should be, you should get a sore neck from looking at them. We also, the Summer Archaeology Film Festival continues. On the 23rd, they'll be showing Black Sands. During the month of August, one other day that we should be aware of, National Thrift Store Day is the 17th, and many of the thrift stores throughout the Verde Valley area, the entire area, will be celebrating with specials and sales and that type of thing. Senior Citizens Day is the 21st, so let's take care of each other out there. And then the end of August leads into the Labor Day weekend. So lots going on, including everything throughout the entire Verde Valley. The concerts in the park at the Clarkdale Gazebo continue. The Bike and Build Habitat for Humanity will be getting some help from a national organization that is an arm of Habitat. And bicyclists have bicycled from Maine will be coming through Cottonwood to help with the build on one of the Habitat houses. Lots and lots of interesting stuff going on in the month of August, including the first rehearsal for our very own Cottonwood Community Band. And joining us today to talk a little bit more about it, Cy Brandon. He's the Vice President and our PR person for the Cottonwood Community Band. Welcome.
That's correct. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to have you on. We always like to find out about what's going on. This past year was your first year under the direction of the new conductor.
That's correct.
And how I saw a few performances and everything looked wonderful. What's the assessment?
Well, we are very fortunate to have Will Norris as our conductor. He had just recently moved into the Verde Valley, and just at the timing in which we were looking for a new conductor, and it just worked out beautifully. It was a marriage made in heaven, I guess we can say. He's just a wonderful musician and has this great teaching ability that you couldn't ask for anything more in terms of a conductor.
That's a great opportunity for those that have, I know part of the mission of the Cottonwood Community Band is that there are no auditions, and people are welcome with a minimal of experience. They'll get a little bit more training while they're participating in the band.
Well, that's right. I think some of the stories that we have of people that haven't touched their instruments in 35 years, and they just want to get back into it. And of course, if you don't use muscles that are normally used in playing a musical instrument, you could be in some rusty shape. So the band is an opportunity to get back.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get good instruction if you come back and try to play your instrument. You'll also have an opportunity to build that endurance that you need to play in the band. Mm-hmm. And most people, they start out, they can play a quarter of the rehearsal, mm-hmm. A quarter of the notes, but they take their instrument out and practice, and it gets better every week.
Plus they have the opportunity to hang out with some pretty great people.
Yes.
I'd say.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, the last season, the grand finale, if you will, was the Clarkdale 4th of July parade. Right. And rehearsals begin, is it August 12th?
August 12th, Monday, August 12th.
And they are every Monday?
They are every Monday. I think we probably will skip Labor Day. But most of the time, unless it's a major holiday, we do rehearse on every Monday from 7 to 9, and we are going back to having our rehearsals at the Cottonwood Middle School in their band room. We just think that it's going to be better for the band acoustically, and we are very appreciative of the Cottonwood Oak Creek School District to allow us to use that facility.
A convenient location as well, easy to for people to get to.
Yes.
That's great. The rehearsals are intended to get ready for the different concerts that you put on, and I know that there are several that are scheduled every single year. First of which will be Verde River Days.
Right, September 28th. We play at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is a tough time for most people because they're really not up and around at that time. But we do that, and the Verde Valley Voices might be joining us for a number or two because I think they perform right after us.
Great.
We're not quite sure of the schedule yet, but 9 o'clock, that's when the music festivities will start. And then we move to getting ready for our Christmas programs. And we don't have those dates set exactly, but we do one concert here in Cottonwood, and we do one concert in Sedona.
That's as is the Verde River Days. That's a set concert that you've done every year for many years, and
Yes.
we'll be looking forward to it.
Yes. We have something else that we're thinking about, and again, this is just in the talking stages, but they have a wonderful facility over in Camp Verde, and the band hasn't been out that way in a while. So one of the things we're looking at is possibly doing some of the music that we do on the Verde River Day concert out on a separate concert in Camp Verde. But that's all in the talking stages right now.
But that would be a great opportunity for those folks in Camp Verde to really get to take advantage of the band. So
That's
that
right.
would be great.
Yes.
I know that on your website, which is very informative, informational, there was mention of a new composition, and so as I say that, my question to you is, what else is in store for the Cottonwood Community Band this upcoming year?
Well, that's basically describe what will be happening in the fall season, and then when we start up again in January, our big goal is to get ready for our spring concert. And this year, we are part of a commissioning consortium, which basically means that a very fine composer has been commissioned by a number of musical groups. And as a result, we are able to share the commission fee so that one group doesn't bear the brunt of the entire cost. So we'll be one of the groups that will have an opportunity to perform this piece of music for the first time.
Very exciting. And is this a national musician that has been commissioned?
Yes, this is a composer who won the orchestral composition category of the American Prize, which is a very prestigious award. And the piece that he proposed that he's going to write is 11 short vignettes that features the band in a variety of settings, and it's geared for community bands, high school bands. It's hopefully within the level that our band can do it.
It's a great opportunity. I know that sounds like being able to coordinate and cooperate gets a lot of benefits, as in most cases, but
That's
by
true.
coordinating with some other bands, that helps out a lot.
Right.
Spring concert is again one of the standards for the Cottonwood Community Band, and we'll be again looking forward to that. We've got a lot of things to look forward to. We can find you all over the Verde Valley for the next year, I'm sure.
Yes, and we like to perform. So if anybody out there has an opportunity for the band to play, just get in touch with us, and that's cottonwoodcommunityband@gmail.com.
And as I mentioned, their website has a lot of information and will continue to be updated with dates as they're secured for the Christmas concerts and all of the future concerts. The
That's
information
correct.
will be there. There are, how many members of the band do you estimate this year?
Around 45.
Excellent.
What we really need are clarinet players, We could use a few more trumpets. Of course, we don't turn anybody away, but those are particularly the areas that we need a few more people. We could even use a little help in the percussion section.
Well, if you have a clarinet or an oboe sitting in your closet that you haven't played in years, now's about the time to drag it out, I'm going to suggest.
That's right.
And we certainly want to encourage any of you that do play or have played. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great opportunity for you to be involved in something like this. It's a great opportunity to contribute to something that has brought so much value to the community. I think that there is nothing short of amazing the kinds of events that you play at and how well received the band is. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Cottonwood Community Band, you can find it on the website. Of course, all of their concerts and events will be posted on the calendar on myradioplace.com. Cy Brandon, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to come over here. You've got a busy schedule, and you're going to get even busier, I'm sure.
Right. Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks again. And we're going to join you back here right after these messages.
Did you know the average 6-room house collects up to 40 pounds of dust, dirt, and mites each year? Air duct cleaning not only makes the air you breathe healthier, it saves you money by allowing your heating and cooling systems to run more efficiently. Dryer vent cleaning also improves efficiency and safety. The oldest vent cleaning service in the Verde Valley, Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, is your answer. Professional, quality service, and great attitude. Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, 634-5149. Ask about senior discounts.
Welcome back. We are joined now by someone who has been a part of our Cottonwood community for a very long time and been very involved in a lot of events. Recently, she was initiated by fire, if you will, when she joined the Verde Valley Fair team as director during the fair season. So while it was all in the planning, what great timing and what great way to get your feet wet and get off and running. Colleen Gilboy.
Hi,
Director, thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, I'm excited to be here.
Good. I'm excited to have you because one thing that has, it's always kind of amazed me a little bit, we have a great resource with our fairgrounds.
We sure do.
And there is a tremendous opportunity. People do take advantage, and there are lots of events on and off near the grounds. But I think there's a lot more that can be done. What do you think?
Oh yeah. We have so many buildings and such a great facility, grounds-wise, building-wise, and just our arena, our show barns, our pens. So there's a lot of things that can happen at the fairgrounds. People rent it for their weddings and receptions and quinceañeras and all that sort of thing. But today I was talking to a gentleman about an alpaca show. So you never know what's going to be coming here.
Alpacas in Cottonwood?
Well, he's pretty excited. You never know. There's 3 organizations buying for a location. We're one of the 3 locations, and so hopefully we can win this one over.
Well, it sounds like you and I were talking earlier about the events that are held there. I had been to a quinceañera, and I've been when the home and business shows have been there. It's a fairgrounds. It's not a conference hall at a hotel or a resort, but it certainly has the facilities to, like we said, to do more and more things as they come along. If the alpaca show comes through, that will be fun, first of all. But I know that there is another event in the planning. You're getting some things rolling, and there's not a whole lot of details yet, but...
Well, yeah, we're looking to do a fall festival this fall. The board has asked me to get some activities happening there, and so I'm going to start off small and build every year, and even this year. So we're looking at trying to do an artisan and craft festival this fall, November 2nd and 3rd, Saturday and Sunday. local crafters, artisans, selling their stuff before Christmas. But while that's happening, I'm trying to get something in the arena. A roping, a barrel race, some sort of activity. Get those men there, get the wives there, an excuse to go shopping. And then maybe having some Dutch oven cooking, scarecrow contests, just activities for the whole family so that when they come out, they're coming to the fairgrounds, they can see our site and maybe able to say, hey, I want to do an event here. And so I'm kind of excited.
As well, you should be. So I want to impress upon our viewers that you are in the process right now of getting this put together, which means you need crafters and artisans, correct?
That is correct. And they can contact us at the fairgrounds and we can get an application in. And that hasn't been designed yet, but we're working on it today. So we should have it by the end of the week. But yeah, we're very, very excited to have our local artisans, crafters, potters, you know, musicians. We're going to have musicians. It's going to be an activity day for everybody.
And it's going to be a true fall fest.
Yes.
That sounds wonderful. Now, one of the things that, again, we had talked about a little bit earlier, the fairgrounds itself is pretty expansive. I mean, there's a lot of room. The buildings are huge. A couple of them are huge. But you said that you're continuing to work on an ongoing basis at kind of, you know, fixing up the facilities a little bit.
Right, we're real excited. We just recently, this week, had a couple donations that came in, some hardwood flooring. So we're going to be replacing some floors in the boardroom and offices, that sort of thing. So that's really exciting. And then we had...
She removed part of the flooring.
I did.
Yeah, just this is not somebody else is doing it. This is getting done by you and your team, which
our
is...
team. And our board our board members are very involved. We have a 7-member board, and then we have 2 full-time staff and 2 part-time staff. So when we're all hands on deck, there's a few hands, but we all do it. But we also have a great person who gave us some pavers, and just for the cost of getting them to Cottonwood, and we're going to be putting new walkways in places where it's, you know, maybe just spruce it up a little bit. And so we're very excited about that. We've done some painting, we've done new drywall in some locations, and just really excited about some changes that are coming down.
I think that it's got to be noted that probably everyone that's been to the fair or been to an event at the fairgrounds is very appreciative of that. I mean, we all know that there were some little mud pits or whatever as you walked around the fairgrounds. So I think that by being able to have better access and feel a little bit better about getting into the buildings, I think it'll be much more inviting to everyone.
Right, and you know, of course, we all want to get rid of the dust, but I can't control the dust and I can't control the wind. So we're going to make do with what we've got, and we're going to do it effectively and efficiently. So.
Well, that's all part of the experience.
That's right. That's a fair experience.
That exactly it is. So in addition to the weddings and quinceañeras and the events that again, I know that there are many people that take advantage of the facilities for those kinds of events. What other, we want to make sure that we're inviting the community to check it out. Make sure that if you've got something coming up that you might need a large space for, talk to Colleen and one of her crew and find out about it.
Right. We've got anything from wedding receptions and reunions like you talked about, but we have gun shows, we have goat shows, RV rallies, the RV camping. You know, we have camping. So when you have company come to town, we've got 50 amp hookups, $15 utilities for a night. It's very inexpensive.
Absolutely.
But you can pull your trailers in. You don't have to back them in and try and get in this little tree space. You know, we've got plenty of rooms. So
it's a great, especially for a couple of the 2-day event, the Fall Fest that's coming up. If you've got somebody that, if one of your relatives is a great crafter, you want to invite them down here, spend the weekend, enjoy it. November should be great.
It's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So we've got the Fall Festival, and of course the fair is in the planning process already for 2014. In fact, it's been titled, hasn't it?
Yes, it's called Pigtails and Country Trails.
That's what it is, and so that's in the planning process. We won't talk about any more about that yet.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that yet.
Okay, all right. What else might you be ready for here in the very near future?
The Christmas parade is coming, and so that's exciting. That's located right out, it starts out there in the parking lot. And this year is just going to be absolutely amazing. It's called A Patriotic Christmas. And so I'm very, very excited. We've got a lot of the veterans, Wounded Warriors have committed, Luke Air Force Base is committed to doing something. So we are very, very excited. You know, the fairgrounds, we couldn't do it without the fairgrounds, and so we're really blessed to have them in our community to do that. So,
But Colleen has, before her official title at the fairgrounds, she's coordinated the Cottonwood Christmas Parade for several years.
yeah, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
A Patriotic Christmas. That will be that. Please put that on your calendars. Talk to any organizations that you're involved in. It's a great, great event. In the past, as I'm sure we're planning to do, the parade has been televised by Verde Valley Television, so that will be a great opportunity. Maybe you should work on planning a little after parade party there at the fairgrounds.
Well, I'm thinking of doing a Veterans Day luncheon is what I'm looking for, and so
I
I'm looking
like
for
it.
somebody in the community that wants to do that with me, because usually by the time I get back to the parade starting grounds, I'm a little bit tired. But I think it would be an amazing time when we have so many veterans in our community in one location. It would be a great thing to do. So, you know, Saturday, December 7th, it's going to be, last year we had 1,000 people in the parade, about 100 entries. This year I'm hoping for 120 entries and pushing 1,500 people because of the theme and who we've already got committed to doing it.
It's just such a noble goal. I'm sure you're going to reach it. I have no doubt
hope so.
whatsoever. But there are so many opportunities. Again, another opportunity. If in order to put on a lunch after the parade, let's step up to the plate and let's make our Verde Valley Fairgrounds the place to hold an event. When you think about it, in the past when I've looked for different things, there are some venues that have some large meeting, party rooms, that kind of thing. But truly, there is nothing like the Verde Valley Fairgrounds.
Not to our size. I mean, we've got 3 buildings that we really rent out. We have barns and that sort of thing, but 3 enclosed buildings. We can run as small as 50 people. We can do 20 people in our boardroom, but 500 people,
No
you
problem.
know, no problem. No problem. Tables and chairs, we have it there. You know, so that's nice. You don't have to rent those in addition to. When you rent our facilities, you're renting the tables and chairs at the same time. There's no additional cost. So
Something to keep in the back of your mind, keep in the front of your mind if you are an artisan, a crafter, if you do pottery, any of those very creative kinds of things. Get in touch with Colleen or one of her crew at the fairgrounds. The Fall Festival, November sounds like a ways away, but it's really not. It's right around the corner.
It is.
So make your plans to either participate or attend that. And check out the website. I'm sure there will be updates frequently. And I'm also going to invite you to make sure we get posted on myradioplace.com. And start thinking about the Christmas parade and what kind of float you're going to enter in that. Colleen, I'm going to wish you good luck, but you really you're really off and running, and I really think that that it's a good thing, and we're really happy to have you out there taking the lead on that.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it, and we are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back here right after the messages.
Did you know the average 6-room house collects up to 40 pounds of dust, dirt, and mites each year? Air duct cleaning not only makes the air you breathe healthier, it saves you money by allowing your heating and cooling systems to run more efficiently. Dryer vent cleaning also improves efficiency and safety. The oldest vent cleaning service in the Verde Valley, Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, is your answer. Professional, quality service, and great attitude. Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, 634-5149. Ask about senior discounts.
Welcome back to Senior Living. We are joined in studio now by a wonderful author and an even more wonderful lady who has written a couple of books. She's written several books, but a couple on a particular subject that I felt was kind of unusual. But we are going to find out a little bit more about the uncommon raven and how smart they are. And we really appreciate Diane Phelps-Budden for joining us today. We invited you here. There is an event coming up that we'll spend a little bit more time later talking about. But to start off with, Diane, how did you come upon the subject of ravens to write about?
Well, I think anybody that visits Sedona, Arizona, and I'm sure it's true in Cottonwood as well, can't help but notice the ravens. And particularly in Sedona, we don't have crows. So they are the big black birds flying in the sky. And you soon notice how gorgeous they are in flight, how they go in pairs, and you find out that they mate for life. I got so taken up with that, and then I went on a balloon ride, Northern Lights balloon in Sedona, and my pilot's daughter, Emily, was finishing up a master's degree at University of Arizona and was using her raven in order to base the research on.
So she already had a raven as a pet?
Well, yes, for lack of a better word.
Okay, yeah,
but Shade has to work a little bit for her living. But yes, they are very bonded, and ravens do bond, just like a lot of birds bond. And this one has bonded with Emily. Now, whether he considers Emily his mother or his mate or what, I don't know. But it's very touching, actually. So
it sounds like it. So tell us a little bit about your how you've gained some knowledge. First of all, your books are written for the younger readers.
Yes, this is what's called a picture book.
Okay. And
although it's very popular with adults, I might add.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to catch up with what I don't know about ravens. It's as I've explored a little bit, I have found that there is quite a bit written. But your books are written for the younger reader in mind. And you were able to write about Shade with Emily's help, I guess?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Shade.
Okay. Shade is actually a white-necked African raven, because in the United States, ravens are protected by the migration treaty, and you cannot keep them as pets, even if they fall out of a tree. So she actually purchased Shade when Shade was a fledgling from a licensed breeder back east. And now Shade's about 6 years old and weighs a couple pounds, and so that's how long they've been together. So yes, they have definitely bonded. And she always believed that ravens could be treated almost like St. Bernards are in the Alps, and could be search and rescue, or help and search and rescue, because of course we have a lot of people that come out and hike in this area and don't prepare. So this book talks about that concept, and in a children's format, and so it starts with Shade and how Shade would go about working in the process with Emily.
How fun!
Yeah, and this is just a research project. I want people to realize Shade isn't really working with the police yet or anything, which is what would happen if Emily could get this further down the road.
Now Emily's still in school.
Emily's still at University of Arizona, and now she's gone on to do other kinds of research with Shade, which is documented in this book, to show that Shade can follow commands and learn words and such. And I'll say that with tongue in cheek, because Shade will be forever like a toddler, and Shade will like a toddler, begin to the point where she'll want to do what she wants to do.
Right.
You know, she won't care how much you give her treats or whatever you give her.
Right.
So, but she is able to follow basic commands. She does understand words, so some words. So.
And ravens, as you've helped me understand a little bit in our brief conversations, they do have distinct sounds and vocalizations that they use, right?
Yes, Professor Marslov at the University of Washington has documented 30 unique ones. And then there are variations, some based upon ravens that mate, develop their own particular communications so that they can communicate with each other if they happen to get out of the territory and they're trying to stay in touch.
Right.
So
how fun is that?
I know.
Are there other interesting traits about ravens that you'd care to share? I know that they're just an uncommon bird, as your book suggests. But I think that you mentioned that they mate for life. They have families, correct?
Right, and they raise families together once a year, and stay together until the birds fledge. And quite often the birds stay around in the territory and around the nest for about another year. I guess people need to really think of ravens, how smart they are. They're really in about the top 10 of all animal groups. Parrots are considered somewhat smarter than ravens, but ravens have a lot of traits that they compare to other animals in our grouping of 10, and show that they're able to do that kind of thing too. So.
One of the things I wanted to point out about your second book, The Uncommon Raven, One Smart Bird, is the images in the book were provided by a local photographer.
Absolutely. Lauren Howry loves ravens as much as I do, and he has one great big collection of raven photos that are just beautiful, and he has allowed me to use them in the book. And so people, if nothing else, might, would be quite taken with the photos. It's hard to find, even among adult books, such wonderful four-color photography of ravens.
That is so awesome. And as we go into break, we will let our viewers know that we're going to talk a little bit more about an opportunity for you to not only learn a little bit more about the raven, but celebrate all things raven, an event that is going to be happening in Sedona at Jay's Bird Barn. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to talk more about that when we come back. Welcome back. We are visiting today with Diane Phelps Budden, author and wonderful lady that has been able to explore the raven, the uncommon smart bird that we know as the raven. Next, on August 17th at Jay's Bird Barn in Sedona, there will be a celebration of all things raven. And Diane, it sounds like it's just going to be wonderful, and people that visit the celebration will get to potentially, hopefully, meet Shade.
Yes, yes. Emily and Shade will both be there. We need Emily because Shade and her are like this, and and so during some part of that time between 11 to 3, probably not right 11 that they'll be there.
Right.
She will come by the store and bring Shade, and Shade, I think, will be in her cage only, but I don't know that for sure.
Right.
But she, believe me, she's not shy. She likes being the center of attention. So she won't be hiding in the back of her cage if she has to stay in the cage. So
excellent. Well, as we just mentioned, it is August 17th. The event is from 11 to 3. You might want to call the store before you go over to see if there is a time frame set up for Shade, because she will get exhausted. Being a celebrity is a little bit exhausting. and there's going to be many other opportunities to get a little bit more knowledge about the raven, in that there's going to be some artists and some great people to get to know.
Lovely artwork. People who love ravens and are as interested in them as I am have done artwork around ravens. And the books, I might add, will be for sale there, and I would be glad to sign them and dedicate them to whoever somebody might like to.
Perfect. So we'll have the books there. We'll also, a few of the artists, raven artists, will be Joyce Killebrew, Wayne Johnson, Nora Graff, Neil Rizos. Joyce Killebrew in particular, she is a sculptor whose primary work was in sculpting the human body, and she discovered the raven.
She discovered the raven. In fact, she made a piece for me that my husband bought for our anniversary. It's raven head, and she will have that piece there. But then she's also done bigger pieces. In fact, she's working on one of Shade. Shade is not a common. That's why I named this book Uncommon. The species name is common raven, and Shade is not a common raven. So she's actually a little smaller than the ones we have up in the sky here.
Okay.
But yes, I think it'll be wonderful to see the kinds of artwork that folks have done. There's a lady, Nora, that does carvings on gourds, and she has one of a
that's right.
scattering of ravens on it that's just beautiful. Earrings, I've seen the earrings there, so.
Some of the items that they mentioned, Raven T-shirts, books, of course, earrings, cards, gourds, photographs. I'm not sure if Mr. Hari's photographs are going to be, if they're available just individually, but you can definitely take a look at it.
Yes, any of his photos are for sale out on his website. So if somebody's interested in that information, I'd be glad to give it to them.
Well, I think that we've got a great opportunity. I know that when I first saw the fact that there was going to be a celebration of all things Raven, I was a little unsure because there's a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, but in a movie at one point, the Raven was kind of an ominous character sitting
like
on
a
a fence
bad
post.
omen.
Yeah, like a bad omen. And that's not true at all.
It is not. And in fact, when you think of the Dracula films, they always said those were bats flying, but I think they used ravens as stand-ins. They looked about the right size to me.
That would be a great
So some
research.
people, it's fun at Halloween though. Ravens are fun to work with around Halloween. So lots of things are out about ravens then.
That's very true. Well, let me remind everybody, celebration of all things Raven, Saturday, August 17th, 11 to 3, Jay's Bird Barn. You'll get to meet Shade. You will also get to meet Emily Corey, and we'll call them their friends for each other, because sometimes when you have somebody like Shade, they're your master. You're not their master necessarily.
Exactly.
So.
I am sure that Shade calls the shots a lot of times.
I'm quite sure of that. That's usually the way those
just
things
like your dogs
go.
and cats, right?
Exactly. What's up with for you after 2 books about ravens? And I'm sure you've got a lot more in there that you want to share with readers.
I do. I'm probably going to take a departure, at least for a while, from the subject of ravens. There's some other things I want to get down on paper first before I...
Now, you're quite a long time Sedona area resident, are you not?
Well, 6 years. 6 years.
Okay.
That's not as long as, certainly not like you, Pam. You're a native.
Oh,
so.
well, I'm not a native Verde Valleyan, but Arizonan, yeah, that's definitely true. So are there things here that have piqued your interest rather than in your original home that now you're exploring some of these new kinds of things?
Well, I'd like to consider myself an artist. I do take class with Joyce, by the way.
I consider you an artist as well.
And so I have gotten quite involved in art history on different things, and I may go that way and document maybe some lives of an artist or whatever.
We won't ask you to share. We'll just be surprised when your next piece of work comes out. We would love to hear about it, and we'll definitely stay in touch and keep up and figure out what's next in for you.
Well, and I should say that I did write a book in between these 2 books to help people who wanted to market their book because it was self-published. Both of these books are self-published. And that book, The Author's Concise Guide to Marketing, is available on Amazon. Obviously, it's not bird related, so it's not at Jay's Bird Barn.
Well, and thank you for reminding me about that. I did know that, and I think that we definitely have many blossoming authors here in the Verde. I mean, again, we just have such great talented people around here, and that's a great reminder for some of our audience. We've encouraged our audience via a lot of our guests. Take up something, and if it happens to be writing, get started somewhere. Once you take that step, then you want to figure out how to get it published.
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay, one more time, Saturday, August 17th, 11 to 3, you can meet our author, pick up books, meet Shade and Emily, and see all kinds of arts and crafts and pieces to celebrate all things Raven.
Absolutely.
Diane, thank you very much for coming in and joining us today, and good luck, and we will we'll catch up with you then. Right now, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to join you at Windmill Park in Cornville.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
In November of 2002, a very special place in Yavapai County was dedicated after at least a couple years of hard work and effort on the part of many, many people, including the two ladies that are standing here with me today. Windmill Park in Cornville just recently celebrated its 10th anniversary rededication, and what began as a huge effort to put a just slightly under 5-acre park into use by the residents has turned into a great location for many, many events. Lois Hook, who has been the lady that's been coordinating all of the scheduling and the activity at the park, as well as many other things, and as well as keeping the park, making sure that volunteers keep it maintained in addition to the county. And then also Deanna King, who was here from the very beginning, and part of the Cornville Community Association that helped see the start of all of this. Welcome, ladies. Thanks for coming and joining us. Lois, tell us just a little bit. The park has now been around for 11, 12 years. Yeah. And it sees a lot of activity throughout the year.
It sure does. And I've been helping CHIP do this for about 10 years. If they have big groups and so forth that want to reserve the park, they have to go through me, sign papers and everything. We actually do so much involving, Cornville has Easter egg hunts and chili cook-offs and so forth. Also, beside that, we have weddings, we have memorial services, we have the Greyhound show that comes in with all of their dogs. We have the farmers market, and also the OCS, which is supplied by Sedona. They come in on Wednesday for the people who order their food ahead to pick up here, so that is used also for that. Probably between the days, it's almost used every weekend and reserved. We have the horseshoe players that come all the time. Sometimes they are here all the time, but they're very cooperative. If we have a big group coming in, they relinquish what they're doing to give us support. So basically, we just use the park for everything. They come and they play volleyball. The scouts have been here.
Lots of birthday parties.
Lots of birthday parties.
Right.
Plus the Post 135 has their meetings here. We just had one the last holiday, and they had a service out there, and they had the Girl Scouts attend, so they got to participate in that. So basically, there's really not too much we don't do here at the park.
Plus, I bring my grandkids every time they're in town. We come play on the playground.
Oh, the kids
There's
love
basketball, right?
Yeah, we have basketball, we have volleyball.
Yeah.
And
They play soccer out in the middle of the field.
They do. I've seen that
and
too.
the playground equipment. And I do want to say the park looks lovely today, and mostly because we have a good group of guys that work on this. When I come down and there's like holes in the ground that shouldn't be, somebody's going to fall, I call them, and by golly, they're right out there. They have gravel in it, or they have it fixed.
And that would be our parks, the county facilities guys.
Facility
Right.
guys.
Do either of you happen to know the age of the actual windmill? It's a landmark for sure.
I have no clue.
Not
It's been here for
specifically.
a long
I think
time.
it's been here like 100 years.
That's what I was thinking. It was somewhere in that
but I
vicinity.
don't know the exact date, but I know it's
Yeah.
been here at least 100
It's
years.
a very historical landmark.
But
Yeah.
if it's really hot, like when they have the farmers market over there, I was joking with Chip Davis one day, and I said, "Can you have him turn the fan over there that way because it's really hot?"
Yeah.
He said, "That isn't the reason we have the windmill." So there you go.
So-
they do everything else, but they wouldn't give me that.
So the farmers market is every Monday.
Every Monday.
Right.
It's been starting earlier because it's growing. They have opened it this year to arts and crafts.
Okay.
which has a lot to do with it. In May, Desert School up here, they have the most fantastic Mayfair you ever want to attend.
We had the musical guest from Mayfair on the show just before
did
the
ya?
Mayfair, so that was really, that was
there
very
was a
The whole
exciting.
huge
park is
crowd
just
here.
covered with everything.
Excellent.
So, it's just, they actually come from Flagstaff to use our park.
I don't blame them. So Lois and Deanne, I know that there have been plans. I remember in about 2007, 2008, the Community Association had NAU do a study to evaluate expanding the park. There's some acreage across the river that might be available. I know with the economic situation that, is that still in the works?
It's still in the works. People think that we've been forgotten, but we really haven't. We're working, Judy Miller and Russ Botcher are working with the Forest Service and the state we have a grant right now. They're doing a NEPA study on the acreage just across from the Oak Creek. So we haven't forgotten about it. They haven't forgotten about it. It's just the slow wheels of the government. But it's not been forgotten. We really want to open up at least part of that acreage for hiking and to enjoy the riparian area.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
As you can tell, these ladies both have on shirts that symbolize one very important event that's right around the corner. And that is our Pink Heels fundraiser event. We've talked about it on our show previously, and it is definitely a worthwhile event. It is coming up August 10th.
August 10th.
Some of you viewers will be watching this after the fact, but if you're not, tell us a little bit about it.
It's August 10th here at Windmill Park, starting at 4 o'clock. It's to raise funds to stay in the Verde Valley to help women with cancer. This is the 4th year. We've raised over $20,000. We've been able to help 14 women in the Verde Valley with bills and whatever other expenses that they have. This event this year, we don't have the pink fire trucks from Phoenix. They were unable to make it. So we have our own little pink fire truck. We're moving ahead because this is a worthwhile cause. And we just encourage everybody to come out and enjoy it. We have raffles, food, silent auction.
Pretty much all day, right?
Music.
It starts
We
at
got
4
a
o'clock.
band playing.
Yeah.
The Switchbacks, Steve Estes and the Switchbacks are going to be here. They're just wonderful. This is their 3rd year in participation.
August 10th opens at
4.
4, okay. Be sure and get out here. If you're watching this after the fact, just please remember that the Pink Heels committee here in the Verde Valley is active all year and could use your help all year long. Ladies, I really appreciate you taking the time to be out here in this beautiful setting, although it's a little hot and humid, but
Somebody
it's
turn
great.
the hose on.
There we go, we'll play in the water. Thanks for joining us here at Windmill Park. Be sure and take advantage. The gates open at dawn, close at dusk. And it's a great place to bring family and friends or just come relax for a little while. We will meet you back in the studios after these messages.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be bright, bright sunshiny day. Think I can make it and all the pain is gone. All of the bad, bad feelings have disappeared. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. Think I can make it and all the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. Gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day.